It was great yesterday. I really wasn't expecting that result. Coming here, it's my first time being here at Sydney Motorsport Park, so to be able to come out the gates and be on pole, I was over the moon yesterday, so I'm really happy with the result. Well, to me, I've always enjoyed the wet from go-karting. I've always been good in the rain, so it was just a continuation of my go-kart experience, and I carried it on to yesterday, and everyone was freaking out with the lines that I was taking, so I just did what I normally did in the go-kart, and I carried it on to this thing and it seemed to work. So there's a lot of grip here around the outside, which I wasn't expecting, but it's awesome fun in the way. I love the track. I'll just try and keep my nerves down and see how we go. We know from Phillip Island that we've got some good dry pace, so hopefully we can stay with the front guys.
So taking a look at opening race highlights for the 2022 RX8 Cup Championship, which headed to Sydney Motorsport Park. Wet conditions greeting competitors on Saturday. Proudly brought to you by Southeast Quarries and Landscaping and Oxsafe Australia. And you can see Justin Barnes with a huge moment out to turn one. Lucky not to be collected by the rest of the field. The just-in-time auto glass car rotating around as we take a look at the onboard with Aidan Riley. You can just see low visibility. Great aware driving from a lot of them on board with Tom Shaw, and he takes to the grass as well and moves his way around. Unfortunately, that meant we lost the 98 car of Thomas Dunklin, the 99 Motorsport RX8 parked off the outside. Slip sliding around, and you can just see there William Harris in the number 12 car getting past the number 29 of Terry Lewis, China Merchant Bank car returning to the championship. As we see from Tom Shaw how hard it is to work around the back of Culprit Hill. And then Brad Harris with a huge off at the hairpin. He was lucky to keep that car off of the wall. Lost a few positions and would fall back down through the field. Everybody just tiptoeing their way around, trying to make the best of the conditions and make sure that they brought the cars home straight. Of course, it's all about those all-important championship points on a charge. You can see coming around the outside is the 81 car of Miles Baruglio in the SEQL sponsorship. Of course, huge thanks to them for supporting the championship this weekend at Sydney Motorsport Park. And then William Ham there in the 60 having a good battle as well. We're on board with David Grice as they come down the main straight. David Grice in the Smart Boating racing car looking to work his way through. You'd have to think with Smart Boating on the side he would be able to work out the wet weather conditions a bit better than the rest, as it looks like a little bit of a wide moment for William Ham. He may well lose out to David Grice here. This was a great battle with a few cars involved with it, and just goes to show that in RX8 Cup, proudly supported by Oxsafe Australia, the fights are all the way through the field. Elliot Malouf in the number 77, and here was a charging Brad Harris coming back through the field after that rotation. Made light work of getting fewer through the cars, including passing Tom Shaw on the run through turns 5 and 6, and he was out there. Of course, Brad Harris with a lot of experience around Sydney Motorsport Park in all sorts of cars. Rounded up his brother William in not too long after that as well. So the two cars, exclusive switchboards and Brown Dog IT Training getting towards the front of the field. Then this was a good story. 88 Shannon McLean in the ZKL Asbestos and Demolitions car getting right up there as well. He's been having a great run in RX8 Cup recently, so was looking to continue that into Sydney Motorsport Park round. On board with Aidan Riley, very, very sideways. He's got Jackson Noakes on the outside. Those two were having a spectacular battle, working their way back through the field after, of course, being held up a little bit with Justin Barnes' spin in the early stages. And as they fought for position round through the back section of the circuit, you can see Aidan Riley down the inside as they work their way back through the field, as well as battling with each other. And just as we go over the crest here, you can see Jackson Noakes slides the rear out, and Aidan Riley very lucky not to collect him. We see a replay here on board with Jackson Noakes, just loses the rear round corporate, almost like Brad Harris did, and that would drop him down the field a bit in the late stages. Unfortunately as well, Martin Lyle on board with him here, you can see fell foul of, as the drying conditions and everybody started to speed up a little bit in the late stages of the race, rotated the car out of turn 5, and unfortunately for him that was the end of it. But out in front, Jack Panacia had a clean pair of heels. He was lapping a couple of seconds quicker for his fastest lap than everybody else, and able to win the race by almost 20 seconds from Jake Lower, Aidan Riley, Bradley Harris, William Harris behind your top 5 for the opening race for the Oxsafe Australia RX8 Cup Championship here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Race 3 of the weekend for the 2022 RX8 Cup Championship, proudly brought to you by Oxsafe Australia and SEQL this weekend here in Sydney. Drying conditions, quite dry and warm out there now. You don't want to get off onto the grass, but the track surface itself is pretty well dry after what has been a wet weekend. And a bit of contact there, Aiden Riley and Jackson Noakes coming to blows down into turn 2. It looks like they both just met on the outside of the circuit trying to take the same line. And Noakes now parked in the mud. He won't be able to get that car back out of there. You see the rest of the field come through. Here we go, on board with Aiden Riley. A replay quickly of what happened. And yeah, just going for the same bit of tarmac as each other. Wheel-to-wheel contact. That probably hasn't helped Aiden Riley's car either. It's brought out the safety car to retrieve Jackson Noakes from down there at turn 2. A very short safety car though, and we are back to racing conditions as we take on board with Ben Shaw. You can just see coming down the main straight, sunshine pouring in through the front window, so they don't need to worry about rain in this one. Tom Shaw under pressure from Shannon McLean. Jack Panacia just in behind as well. These three picking up where they left off from race 1. And it looks like just sitting in behind is Terry Lewis as, oh no, Miles Brigulio has come to a stop down at turn 1. Well off of the circuit though, so hopefully that doesn't put us back under another safety car. We'll have to see how that develops throughout the race. As we see Ben Shaw losing a couple of positions there. That's the 98 sneaking past down through turn 4-5. And that's Thomas getting past there. Thomas Duncan getting past there after being off the track in race 1. Of course, we saw him buried down at turn 1, stuck in the mud. And he will work his way back towards the front of the field. A bit late in the weekend, but you know, you've got to do what you can do, charging through here in RX8 Cup the best you can. William Harris looks like he's behind Jake Lower in the early stages of this race, so Harris has dropped a little bit back. Needs to try to work on him. Justin Barnes sitting in a comfortable second place. Brad Harris just driving away as Will Harris to the inside at turn 1. He's going to make it work on Lower there, and he's got there, although Lower's slowing, so there's a drama with that car. Jake Lower plummeting down the field now. You can see all of the front runners getting past him, and that is not what we want to see for the number 66 car. He had such a great, strong run to the start of the weekend, and now he'll find himself parked on the side of the road in a not ideal position either. Martin Leo leading the group of cars behind him. Not for long though. Down the inside, Gina Bullions. Gina Bullions taking the position away. Looks like, oh no, Jake Lower is still stopped there on the outside of turn 2, so not exactly sure what's happened to him. I was about to say, looks like Jake's been able to get going, but he hasn't. So we'll have to keep abreast of that one. He'll try to putt the car back to the pit lane, you would have to expect. Or he may try to keep it going around just to pick up those all-important championship points. Tom Shaw now on the back of Will Harris. Shannon McLean and Jack Panacia have dropped away a little bit from this battle in the mid stages of the race. So they've got their own fight on their hands, and as we saw in race 2, if you start dropping into the clutches of other cars, you start slowing each other down as you battle on alternate lines. And sure enough, we're seeing that here. Justin Barnes will be looking in the mirror and willing these two on to fight. Tom Shaw and William Harris, bumper to bumper, down through turns 5 and 6. We'll see if Tom Shaw can get the run up the hill. Not sure he's going to be able to do anything there. He has to sit back in behind for the moment at least. Out in front, Brad Harris, a very comfortable lead. He's going to be able to bring home another victory here this weekend in the Oxsafe Australia RX8 Cup, proudly brought to you by Southeastern Quarries and Landscaping as well, here at Sydney Motorsport Park. And it's Brad Harris in the exclusive Switchboards car. A very, very comfortable victory. That's 2 from 3. If he hadn't have had that drama in race 1, he probably would have been 3 from 3 so far this weekend. As we take a look at the results, Justin Barnes, William Harris, Tom Shaw and Shannon McLean rounding out your top 5 for the Oxsafe Australia RX8 Cup. Final race of the weekend for the Oxsafe Australia RX8 Cup here at Sydney Motorsport Park. The sun is setting. It's very late in the afternoon. The sun's very low in the winter sky here, straight in the driver's eye, down on the run down the main straight. And you can see though, Brad Harris not worried about that. He picks up where he left off. Justin Barnes swinging in behind, and then William Harris and Tom Shaw look set to continue that battle we've seen through the whole weekend of racing as they come down into turn 1 and 2, and then this big field of RX8 Cup behind. Great to see so many of them out there supporting this fantastic championship. On board with Jackson Noakes, who's coming back through the field after those dramas we saw in race 3, where he found himself right off the road. On board with me on Neri Brecky as well. Neri Brecky a little bit further down the field, but just all the way in amongst it. It's hard to know where to look in amongst this pack. There's so many battles, so many cars split off to fight against each other. You never know what exactly is going to happen in RX8 Cup, and that's part of the enjoyment of it. There's so much to see. Make sure to get yourself trackside to check out Oxsafe Australia RX8 Cup. Proudly brought to you by Southeastern Quarries and Landscaping as well. Ben Shaw on board with him as we flick back to see Aidan Riley looking to make a move down the inside of Jerome Neribrecki, and he gets it, takes the position away. So Aidan Riley wasting no time getting back through the field. As we zoom in and look at all these cars swinging through this final corner. There's the 19 of Aidan Riley working his way back up after those dramas we saw earlier on in the weekend. But just look at this, cars diving everywhere, taking positions, try to choose their opportunity to be able to sneak their way past. That's Thomas Duncan in the 98, just squeezing past Terry Lewis. And it works all the way down the field as well. As we take a look further back, we see the number 2 of David Grice trying to work on Maisie Place. Not quite able to do anything as yet. Having to sit in behind, not quite got the drive. Michael Sloss in behind there as well in the S-Sport racing car, and a big slide there for the 77 of Elliot Malouf. That's going to put the pressure on from Terry Lewis onto the main straight. We'll see how much a slide like that can affect the cars. Elliot under pressure now through turn 1 as Terry Lewis looks to make the move. He's pulled to the inside again at turn 2. Eric Malouf sliding the rear of the car yet again. I wonder if he's maybe used the best of the tyres that are underneath him and he's just looking to bring it home. As Terry Lewis continues to put pressure on. These guys battling for 7th and 8th place in the race, in the late stages here as well. We see the number 5 Raceway Track Time car, a big tank slapper, and Jerome Neribrecki rotating the car just in front of Jackson Noakes there. So lucky to get away without contact as Jackson Noakes continues making his way back through the field. Very, very lucky to get away with that one for the Raceway Track Time car. As Jackson Noakes now looks at the inside of the other Raceway Track Time car, number 53 of Marion Neribrecki. I dare say, with the pace that Noakes has got, it won't be long before he's able to get past. Looks like, here we go, down the inside at the hairpin into the late afternoon sun. Of course, you've got changing weather conditions, changing track temperature conditions. And Noakes makes that move rather easily as he continues his drive back through the field. Now in just the back part of the top 10, just outside it, but looking to be able to push up in there for, again, those all-important championship points as we go on board with Tom Shaw coming around the outside of Maisie Place. And that looks like it's going to be able to give him a run here on Harris. He looks to the inside, he looks to the outside. A little bit of a pinch of a brake, it looks like, as he jumped on the anchors to try to pull that car up into turn 2. Not able to do anything about William Harris just yet. Working his way through the back section of the circuit. These guys up through turns 5 and 6. It's very, very overgrown here at Sydney Motorsport Park at the moment with all the rain that we've had. It's not just muddy off track. It's very hard to see some of the track as well with how much the grass has been able to grow. As now, Tom Shaw looks to the inside. He's doing everything he can at Harris at the moment. These guys battling for 3rd and 4th place in the race. So this is for a podium at the moment. They're going to split this lap car. Looking to the outside, Tom Shaw trying to make it work. It's a very, very greasy line out there. He's found the grass. He keeps the pin, keeps it pinned straight back onto the track. And he's still on the back of Will Harris as they come through turns 5 and 6. He'll have a look here to the inside. Not able to do anything about it as yet. And he has to sit in behind again, though. Justin Barnes has slid wide at the hairpin. And that's allowed William Harris to get past. It looks like Tom Shaw's going to be able to do it as well. So right in the closing stages of the race, Justin Barnes slipping wide and loses 2 positions there at the very end. So Justin Barnes, not what he would want to see as we come towards the very end of this race. He's going to try to throw everything he can at it to get back up there. But this has gone from a podium battle to a 2nd and 3rd step on the podium battle. Though it looks like as Brad Harris has come out of the hairpin there onto the final back straight, and he is wiggling the car around. I think he's out of fuel or something's gone wrong with that car. And these two pass another car out of the hairpin to go into 1st and 2nd in the race. So the battle that was for 3rd place is now all of a sudden a battle for the lead. And coming around, it looks like William Harris is going to be able to take this one in the Brown Dog IT racing car. Tom Shaw throwing everything he can at him. He's not quite close enough to be able to get there. And right at the death knock, it's William Harris who pinches a victory. Absolutely brilliant racing at the end of that one for RX8 Cup. We'll take a look at the results. Brought to you by Oxsafe Australia. And it's Will Harris, Tom Shaw, Justin Barnes, Jack Panacia and Shannon McLean rounding out the top 5. Still, the victory for the round went to William Harris. We caught up with him.
Got the win in the last one. Gradually worked through the field. But had an infringement in practice yesterday, so we started rear of field in race 1, but we got back there. The lines yesterday had to be right out wide. Absolutely no grip on line. Jack done a ripper job. He was awesome in the wet. Congrats to him. But yeah, dry conditions, it's great.
Fantastic. And do you like to thank anyone today?
Yeah, exclusive switchboards. Nick Dunkley, Brown Dog IT. It's his car. He's given it to me for the weekend, so perfect.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed all the action here on Blendline TV. A quick check of the championship points, and it's Tom Shaw who holds a slender lead over Justin Barnes. The championship now heads to Winton Motor Raceway in mid-June for the next round. We hope you can get down there and support this great racing. Until next time, thanks for joining us here on Blendline TV. Bye for now.